That was awesome. The Cano show today.
The Cano show's international tour has been taking the league by storm. 5 consecutive scoreless outings to begin the year was both surprising and really impressive. 10 was flat out otherworldly, but Yennier Cano started the 2023 campaign with 17 outings of no earned runs and no walks. That's more than guys like Dennis Eckersley, Trevor Hoffman, and Mariano Rivera ever had at the peaks of their powers. This isn't just a fun story anymore. Yennier Cano is legitimately one of the best relievers in all of baseball. Let's rewind a bit.
And the Orioles have done it again!
Who's the name you remember when you think about the return for Jorge Lopez at last year's deadline? Can't blame you if you said Cade Povich, the Orioles' 12th-ranked prospect, who, by the way, is striking everybody out in Double-A Bowie right now. There were 2 recent international signings in that deal as well, in Juan Nunez and Juan Rojas. And then there was Yennier Cano, a 28-year-old reliever who had an ERA close to 10 in the majors and wasn't exactly lighting the world on fire at AAA. So sure, when spring training came around, not much was made of Cano. A few rough outings in Sarasota didn't really help his case. But then the Cuban-born reliever made a change, abandoning his higher arm slot delivery and opting to only pitch with the lower arm slot he used occasionally. It helped. A lot.
Last year he struggled throwing strikes up here, and then he's been throwing strikes in spring training and in Norfolk, and that's huge for us right now to get a guy that can get right-handers to put the ball on the ground the way he did.
Cano wrapped up spring training strong without allowing a run. That trend continued historically.
I think just coming in with a different mindset, last year was my first year in the bigs, so coming in this year with more experience, feeling a lot more comfortable, and, having that pitch where I feel a lot more comfortable throwing it this year is making a big difference for me.
Now that pitch Cano is referring to is the sinker, which he throws about 55% of the time. Its run value of -10 makes it one of the best pitches in all of baseball. We're talking Garrett Cole's fastball level of elite. It's also got the most vertical movement versus average in the game. The changeup, which is the offering about 35% of the time, it isn't too shabby either. Cano has thrown that change just shy of 100 times this season. About 40 have been swings and misses. 1 has been a hit.
Yeah, I think the most important thing in the, first things first is not focusing on the score. If the score is 1-0, I'm not focused on that. I'm coming into the game, focused on getting an out, getting another out, throwing a strike, throwing another strike. Last year I would come into the games and be a little worried about what the score was, if we were ahead, if we were behind in the game. So this year I'm just going out there and trying to do my job.
Between the shift in mentality and the change in arm slots, Yennier Cano has been a completely different pitcher than a season ago. In 13 games last year, Cano had an ERA of 11.5 in 18 innings, 26 hits allowed, 23 earned runs, and 16 walks. Looking at Cano's stats for this year in comparison is almost laughable. 18 appearances with an ERA that has now ballooned up to .4. A minuscule whip, just 6 hits allowed, and no walks. 26 strikeouts. Cano and Felix Bautista create arguably the best 1-2 punch at the back end of a bullpen in the game. If you're facing the Orioles and you find yourself unlucky enough to be down a run or two in the 8th inning, good luck.